What's up guys, welcome back for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Duel video. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Two solitaire decks are paired against each other. We have Dark Synchro from the OCG featuring Level Eater, Chicken Game, Gofu and so on. It's paired up against another solitaire dot deck, Not Let Your Opponent Interact With You, basically Infernities from 2010 as well. The Trishla version, also OCG, so two OCG decks are paired up against each other. The first list we have Dark Synchro, a deck that I don't think was ever possible in the TCG, not really sure about that, with at least full force, like triple Level Eater, triple Gofu, Chicken Games, the Omegas as well, OCG list again. The second list we have Infernities, also from the OCG, featuring triple Trishula, triple Launcher, triple Archfiend and so on. No Infinity Barrier because again that was a TCG exclusive back in the old school days when Infernities were first released. So which deck has the advantage? And I kind of follow the people here seeing that, or feeling that the Dark Synchro should have the advantage over the Infernities. Both decks, of course, pretty much do the same hand loop or attack your opponent like on the hand, take cards from their hand, pump out some big beat sticks on the field. Not really multiple negations, and I'm speaking for both lists, but if I, would pick, at least before this matchup, I would definitely lean, like the public here, a little bit towards Dark Synchro. Then again, we have been surprised in the past, so let's move on to the first duel. First game, Dark Synchro goes first, of course opening with the 5 cards, obviously. And the fact, or the thing here is that Dark Synchro on its own, it's not really a hard deck to play. It's pretty straightforward. Library, Hyper Librarian, getting the multiple draws, Synchro off, go from there. Multiple Omegas, Trishula, and if you were able to draw multiple cards through your deck, draw into Avarice, and Avarice sets back or gets back up the second Trishula, I guess, or sends it back from your graveyard back to the extra deck for you to be used again. So that loop, I guess, that combo equals like 5 cards from your opponent's hand during the first duel, or well, yeah, during like the first turn. So anyway, as I mentioned before, I mean, both decks feel kind of similar, but the downside here for Infernities is that, especially in game number 1, the deck doesn't play hand traps. I believe it does side DD Crow, if I'm not mistaken. It's a dark, so it definitely goes well with the deck, but I mean, hand traps and Infernities don't really go well together also. So anyway, this is the game, right? As I mentioned before, Pot of Avarice sending back the Trishula, the 1 copy of Trishula. Full combo, it gets like indeed 5 cards from your opponent's hand, and ending with Crystal Wing for some extra negation. These weren't the times that you could, let's say, Dweller, Borreload, Savage Dragon, Appaloosa your opponent out of the duel. You just Omega them. Anyway, so game number 2, Infernities go first with the 6th card, obviously. It's a deck from 2010. No Trishula hand loop since it doesn't have the, what is it called, the level 3 one. Is it Mirage? I think it's Mirage. This is cool. I mean, Stardust is of course very sweet against like older decks, old school decks that heavily rely on destruction, like Twin Twister, Raigeki, Darkhole. So yeah, I think I have to force out or use Twin Twister mainly to get Malicious in the graveyard and hopefully go from there. Fall to Bottomless Trap Hole, but I still have a follow-up play with the Broken Soul Charge, although it's at 1 here in the deck. But again, being able to I have to be lucky here with the potential Chicken Game draw, but I don't think I am. No level, yeah, okay, yeah, the Prohibition, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, this board is good, definitely good, but the Prohibition on the Level Eater definitely hurt. And okay, Omega gets rid of the level 3, is it Mirage? I can't remember the names, you know which one I mean. Or is it Necromancer? It's Necromancer, right? Yeah. The names. Anyway, 1-1, what can I do right? So game number 3 again, I go first, both side taking. I think I side out my Maxis again, those are in a side deck, but I kept in DD Crows, that's the thing. And speaking of DD Crow, I get DD Crowed, I believe, again, like only 2 hand traps for Infernities, but luckily, I do have Soul Charge, also OP and Broken Soul Charge for the Armageddonite. Again, because it's not once per turn, just send another Level Eater to the graveyard, and this is full combo again. Yugioh played, and again, I mean, just get Hyper Librarian on the field, and then thanks to Level Eater, thanks to some Synchros that are tuner themselves, like the Quick Draw, the Axel Synchron, and Coral Dragon as well. Formula Synchron, of course. It gets you multiple draws, and eventually you're just drawing your extenders, your tuners, and you go from there. And yeah, Ancient Fairy Dragon, the level 7 Synchro, is banned for a reason. Too good. Gets rid of Chicken Game, searches another copy of Chicken Game, basically an upstart goblin on its own, and on top of that, Ancient Fairy Dragon has the ability to special summon something from the hand, a tuner most of the time. Opens up Trishula plays, opens up Omega plays. The deck is really child's play and very easy to play. Since, yeah, okay, due to the DD Crow, I'm not forced to, you know, dig deeper through my deck, in my deck, to hopefully draw into Pot of Avarice, but triple Omega and Trishula is more than enough. Drop the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and now making sure that I have 3 open spaces left, so the triple Omega can return to the field during my next turn. The set can be dangerous, could be a Torrential Tribute, but again, well, hey, yeah, Torrential Tribute doesn't really matter, I can just chain the Omegas and go for game next turn. Mirror Force, on the other hand, would be a problem indeed, so go for Coral Dragon, and well, it's like a Rakeki break, but that's not that devastating. So okay, number 4, going second here, and that's not really a powerful opening turn play here by Infernities. Again, the Prohibition calling Level Eater, and that again hurts. I have to pass. Another potential play I could have done was for Foolish Burial, Malicious, and maybe Mono Summon Plague Spreader. That might have been something, but I was like, well, there are like Rakeki Break, Torrential Tribute, Book of Moon, those interruption cards, so I was like, well, let's keep that play for next turn. So if there is a turn that I need to, you know, like pump out some big beat sticks, this is the turn. So 2 face down sets, which we don't know. The first one is revealed. Luckily, I do have a powerful play in the form of Armageddonite and go for Coral Dragon. Not guessing the Torrential Tribute, I guess, but I think I had to get rid of the Prohibition because of Formula. Oh yeah, well, Formula Synchron and Level Eater, obviously, but boom, the crucial Torrential Tribute, and I have to stop, but I still have the potential Maxi, and even with Maxi, this definitely would have been game if it wasn't for that useless Dark Refer top deck. I believe Infernities did have the option to search out Launcher in the previous turn, but yeah, Infernities did have like a setup field, so I get why the level 3 was searched out, but again, if there was a Launcher, that would have been game, and we would have gone into game number 5, but that's not the case. That's Infernities, like the scummy play of, you know, when Infernities were first released, like people, when they had like multiple monsters in their hand, they, well, obviously your opponent can't see your hand, so they were setting their monsters in the spell and trap card zones, and then, you know, like using Archfiend, its effect, and Mirage and so on, because again, you didn't have a hand at the time that you were using the Infernities effect. So that's how it is, that's how the game is played out, and 3-1 in favor of Dark Synchros, and Infernities is still live, same for Dark Synchro, but I mean, this group, most decks are from pretty much the same age, pretty equal power level. Anyway, going on to the next group, the second Master Rule 5 deck hits the scene. The first list we see here is Madolches. Again, the list is not set. Feel free to leave feedback. I first had an OCG list because, again, Eternity Code was released in the OCG, but again, we had the PBG last weekend and Madolches did quite well. This is one of those lists. Again, TCG legal, post-Eternity Code, very early again for the TCG, so again, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Same counts for the True Draco list. Masterpiece enters the Cross-Banlist Cup, but not really sure if I should add in or look out for a list with the Dynamite Fighter, the Knuckles, you know, the level 6 one. So again, feel free to leave feedback about that. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.